Hi, welcome back to Truth Talk. I'm Jelena.
I'm Chandler.
And today, tell us, what's the topic?
The mark of the beast.
The mark of the beast. So it talks about the mark of the beast in Revelation chapter 13. So basically the mark of the beast is if you do not receive the mark of the beast on your right hand or your forehead, you cannot buy nor sell. Yep. And it doesn't matter if you're rich or poor, slave or free. I mean, everybody is supposed to.
Yeah, it affects everybody. Yeah. So that's why you really need to not be here when it happens.
And by that he means the rapture, like when we believe that the church will be taken up before we even know who the Antichrist is. Thank you, Jesus.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, really, thank you.
And the mark signifies that you're basically denying Jesus Christ. And then that means that you're like basically worshiping the beast and saying, he's the Messiah, all that. And the beast represents the Antichrist.
Yes. Yeah, so it'll be a mark. Again, it says in the Bible, it'll either be on your forehead or your right hand. And, we said this in our last video, do not receive that mark.
Yeah.
Because if you are left here, let's say, for the tribulation, it'll be very clear. Oh, I remember those people talking about the mark of the beast. I thought they were crazy then. And now I see that they weren't crazy. Don't get it. You will remember this. Do not get it.
Yeah, and
that means you're basically going to be bound to hell. I mean,
you will.
Yeah.
And they say, like, whenever, like, they start, whenever he enforces it, like, it will be a conscious, like, decision. Like, you know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. I can't even imagine how scary it will be to know.
I know.
I can't buy or sell unless I receive this mark.
Right. And, like, along with the buy and sell, that basically would mean, like, if you get sick or you break a bone or anything, you can't get medical care.
No, you can't get anything. Nothing.
Yeah, so when you look at it at that perspective, you really don't want to be here.
Yeah, because, I mean, you could think, well, I'll just run and hide. Well,
yeah, you can.
You could, but you still can't get food.
And especially, it's really like hard to hide nowadays. Look at all the technology we have.
Yeah, you got. Believe me, there'll be drones flying around just to make sure that everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing.
The technology we have nowadays, I mean, it's hard to hide anywhere.
Yeah.
And if you can, so let's say if you want to be one of those people that you are hiding, you have to remember, you have to find your own food.
Yeah.
You have to basically survive in the wild.
I mean, it's going to be miserable. In the last 3.5 years of the tribulation is when supposedly it will come out, the mark of the beast. And those last 3.5 years, guess what? It says in the Bible that no man will be dying during that time. You can't die. Like, it says that men will wish they could die. They will be gnawing their tongues off because they are in so much pain.
And like what we were speaking, like that like pertains, like if you get the mark, like those people can't die.
They can't die.
But if you do not receive the mark, then you can die.
That's true. Thank you for clarifying that.
You still don't want to be here for any of it.
And also it talks about the ones that receive the mark. It will be a constant sore of oozing. Yeah. And I don't know, maybe that's radiation coming from it. I don't know. But it's going to cause so much pain that alone will cause you to be completely miserable.
And they were saying, like, it does not go away.
No.
It stays there as soon as you get the mark.
And it talks about the bodies of water turning to blood.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it sounds really crazy.
It does.
And woohoo if you haven't read the Bible.
Here's the thing, though, about that is, like, the Bible also, you had, like, Daniel and all these other, like, Isaiah and stuff. Like, they would predict stuff so long, and it said that people would always get mad at them and say, like, they don't believe him or something, and it would always come to pass. Mm-hmm. No matter how crazy it sounded, when it comes from God, it's going to come true. And that's how they, like, say, who a prophet of God is, because it's always 100% accurate.
Yeah.
There's nothing, you're not 99% accurate, nothing.
Yes.
So.
Yeah.
And then basically the mark, it will either represent, like, 666 or the actual name of the Antichrist. And so the 666 number is supposed to be like, because the number 6 represents man.
Mm-hmm. Mankind.
Yeah, and which is not perfect at all. No. So it's basically like you're worshiping man. And, Satan, he always wants people, to worship your flesh.
Right.
Because if you're not worshiping God.
Right, because it talks about in the end times we will be lovers of ourselves.
Yep.
Yeah, kind of like our selfies and all that fun stuff that we do and post it. I mean, I'm sure you've heard it. I've heard it many times how our society is becoming narcissists because we're constantly, it's all about me. And there's nothing wrong with taking care of yourself. I mean, that's something you should do, absolutely. But it's different when you're doing things just for show.
Right. And then another thing is, like, we don't think that we'll, like, be here for the mark of the beast, because, of course, it comes out, you know, like, 3.5 years after tribulation starts, and we believe in a pre-tribulation rapture, which means we would not be, you know, seeing any of the mark or anything like that. And then another, like, kind of like scriptures, because basically the tribulation is supposed to be God's wrath, you know, on a wicked world. And there's, like, a lot of scriptures, we will be going over 3 of them, but basically it says, like, God, his wrath is never on his people at all.
Yes.
So we'll go ahead and get into the first one. So the first one is from John 3:36, and that says, "Whoever believes in the Son has eternal life. Whoever does not obey the Son shall not see life, but the wrath of God remains on him." You want me to go ahead and go to the second one?
Go ahead.
Okay. So the second one is from Romans 1:18, and that says, "For the wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men, who by their unrighteousness suppress the truth." Which, I mean, we're already seeing that right now. Like, you know, all these people trying to, you know, suppress, and it's sad to see it, but that's the time we're living in right now.
Well, sure, yeah, they don't want to be caught. It's a bunch of lies.
Yep. And then the third one we have is from 2 Peter 2:9, and that says, "Then the Lord knows how to rescue the godly from trials, and to keep the unrighteous under punishment until the day of judgment." So those were, you know, like the 3 we picked out, you know, to show, like, God's wrath is not upon, you know, his people, but upon, like, the people who love this world and who are wicked.
Yeah. And when Jesus comes back for the second time, that's when the day of judgment occurs.
Right.
It's not during the rapture or during the tribulation even.
And that's another thing we think, like, the pre-tribulation rapture is because it talks about, you know, like, Jesus will come back, you know, with his people.
Yes.
And so that's where we get that from.
Yeah. And he comes back then to basically take out Satan and the Antichrist, and
then that's whenever
it's Armageddon.
And that's whenever after that he sets up his millennium, you know, kingdom, and then he, you know, banishes Satan for 1,000 years.
Which, that's getting into a lot of stuff,
right,
if you don't know anything about Revelation. And like I said, Revelation is very confusing, we suggest reading Daniel, the book of Daniel first, which is basically kind of like Revelation, just in a different time. So read Revelation first, read Daniel first, and then Revelation, and it'll be easier to understand.
It makes a lot more sense once you read Daniel, because, like, before that we never knew Daniel had anything to do with Revelation, but I mean, there's a lot of people that don't, but it's really interesting.
It's very interesting how it all correlates together.
I mean, it's written by God, so that's going to correlate together.
Nothing on accident, that's for sure.
And when you start reading, you can definitely tell that.
Yeah, but so we just want to make sure that you know you're studying up also. I mean, we're not sitting here saying that we're theologians and we just know everything, because we believe me, we do not. Don't. We have a lot to learn.
We do.
We're just sharing what we have learned.
But, you know, that's why it can take a lifetime. You know, it takes like a whole lifetime to just get into the Bible, and you still haven't uncovered everything.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, you know, I don't care if you're 10 or if you're, you know, 100. It's never too late. It's never too late. Did I say that? Let me say that one more time. It's never too late. So, you know, if you're not saved, or if you've never picked up the Bible once, it's okay.
Yep.
Like, you do it now.
Right.
Like,
while
you
still
can.
And especially, like, while we are still in the grace period that we're in right now.
Yep.
Because once this period ends, you don't want to be here.
No. So that's our word for today. Is just please study, you know, chapter 13 and see for yourself what we're talking about on the mark of the beast. And by all means, of course, read Daniel and Revelation for a better understanding.
Read the whole Bible.
Yeah. But like we always say, if you have any questions or comments, you know, leave them in the comments below, and we'll be happy to respond. And if we don't know the answer, I promise we'll try to find it for you.
We will.
Okay.
And then also, like we say, you know, at the end of every video, make sure if you have any, like, prayer requests, leave them below. I mean, we love, like, praying for you guys, and we know, like, you know, it's a tough time, especially right now. People are, you know, losing their, you know, their jobs, and I mean, some people have lost, you know, their loved ones due to what's happening right now. So just if you have any prayer requests, please put them down below, and we will make sure to get back with you on that. Yeah. So we appreciate you guys coming and talking with us, and we'll be back soon with another topic. All right. Truth Talk signing out. See you guys. Bye-bye.